So, 10 days of eating like an absolute moron, but critically being in a calorie deficit. And today first I want to remind you of what I've eaten over the last 10 days. What's going on YouTube, it's Jason and welcome to day number 54 and day number 11 of my Razor Sharp series. So this morning I haven't eaten anything because today is the day of my blood test. So I'll be forcing food in from about 2 o'clock, but not in a gluttonous, moronic fashion. I'm going back to my normal eating style. I am so excited to be back. Anyways, as promised, I want to do my morning weigh-in. It's not an official weigh-in like Monday morning, so I won't do my flex and my waist. I'll wait till Monday for that. But anyways, let's go and get weighed. So, 10 days of eating like an absolute moron, but critically being in a calorie deficit. 10 days ago when I weighed myself just before my scan, I was 87.7 and today I am 86.2. Now guys, just to remind you, I haven't been tracking or measuring food since before Christmas. Like since January, all the muscle I've gained and the bulk was all by eyeballing and guesstimates. The last 10 days have been the same. I mean, the lint egg that I weighed yesterday was the first thing I'd weighed for about 4 months. Now, I'm going to go into the nuance and explain this and what I want you guys to learn from this result. But first, I want to remind you of what I've eaten over the last 10 days. Let's give these bad boys a try. Absolutely delightful. Let's see how we go. Croissant and waffles combined. Let's see the texture. So pre-workout is the last of the Biscoff ice cream sticks. So yeah, I think it's fair to say I had my fair share of sugar. What I wanted to do was just stress the importance of calories first, then macros second. A lot of people out there are fat and obese, and they're eating fresh, home-cooked food, thinking that they just need to avoid processed food and they're gonna lose weight and be healthy. But it's not the case. How much is the most important thing. Once you've satisfied that, then what you're eating matters. And to add insult to injury, guys, you've seen me. I'm having bread most days. Yes, bread, the thing that supposedly makes you fat. And I still lost 1.5 kilos. So just to reiterate, this is not a plug for you guys to eat processed food. Quite the opposite. Personally, I eat 80 to 90% whole foods. And because I do that, the 10 to 20% doesn't really matter. In terms of the amount of weight I lost 1.5 kilos. Now, some people might watch this and think, oh my gosh, you lost all that weight in 1 week. But we know that probably 0.8 to a kilo of that is water weight. Probably the water weight that I gained when I was eating out at Kate's. And so I probably lost about 0.5 to 0.7 in terms of body fat. Pretty much what I said. So job done. It is time, Simba. So blood test done. Blood tests for me are always a bit of an ordeal because every time the phlebotomist seems to struggle to find my veins, which I don't really understand because when I train, I get vascular, all my veins rise to the surface. But for some strange reason, when I get a blood test, they seem to hide. And so I end up getting like stabbed to death and hacked away at, which is a bit uncomfortable. In terms of my blood test result predictions, what am I expecting? So I was 4.3 when I did this 4 weeks ago. I'm expecting to be under 5. I have been consuming a lot of sugar, but the rest of my diet has still been dialed in and I have been active. And we know that activity helps insulin sensitivity. So I'm not expecting anything crazy like 6 or 5.8 or anything. I'm expecting to still be under 5, somewhere 4.7, 4.8 for me sounds sensible. I wouldn't be too surprised if I stayed the same, but maybe I'm asking a lot considering how much sugar I've consumed. Let's see how we get on. So back from my blood test, it's just gone 2:30. I haven't eaten anything since 11 p.m. last night, so I've fasted for over 15 hours. In hindsight, I probably could have done a Ramadan fast and made a video of it, but I had water this morning. I'm gonna have to make up for lost time in terms of my calories, which I know is a first world problem on a cut, but I am like 7 hours behind my eating schedule, so I've got 2,800 calories to get in. I've started the day with the usual natural yogurt, granola and maple syrup, but I have gone for a bigger portion of granola to get the calories in. While we are on the topic of fasting, I thought I'd mention intermittent fasting. A lot of people say that it's superior for fat loss, and they ask me, does intermittent fasting work? And I always say back to them, define work. If by work you mean limiting your eating window, then yes, it can help to do that. But if you mean, is it superior to a standard calorie deficit? Well, I hope you saw from my results, the answer is no. Calorie deficit is the best way and the primary way that a person loses body fat. Is it a tool that can work for someone? Yes. But if the results are going to be exactly the same as eating in a normal way, in a standard calorie deficit, then I can't think why you wouldn't just eat normally and eat in a standard calorie deficit. At the end of the day, intermittent fasting isn't magic. If a person isn't in a calorie deficit, whether they're intermittent fast or not, they're not going to lose body fat. So why would you go through the hassle? If you want a more comprehensive video about intermittent fasting, I did a video last year, check it out. Oh mate, I absolutely demolished that bowl of granola. I currently have some eggs on as we speak. There is no time to hang around. We need to get those calories in. So I had the usual buttered sourdough with boiled eggs. I had an extra egg, we need to get it in. And I had an extra slice of sourdough. Then I had porridge with a scoop of protein, exquisitely whisked. Then I had lasagna and celery. Usual end to the day, jollof, chicken breast, spinach, kale and shiitake, and fruit. So in terms of scores on the doors, total calories were 2,837. Macro breakdown, I'm not gonna read it all out. I'm not on the sugar challenge. I'm gonna put it on the screen instead. So yeah guys, that's everything. Hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. Don't forget to like it if you did. Subscribe to my channel to follow me on this journey, and I'll see you again tomorrow.